Paul Gascoigne is widely considered to be one of, if not the greatest English football player of all time. He had everything when it came to on-pitch talent. He could go round players, he could pass, he could tackle, he scored goals, and he done it all with a smile on his face. He had a skill set that was very rarely seen outside of Brazil at the time, and he was a very, very special football player. But unfortunately, due to many issues, there are people now that look back on him as wasted potential, a career that never really hit the heights that it should have done. And there are a lot of football fans and people indeed under a certain age who will have just seen in the newspapers and they will portray him as a broken ex-pro with mental health issues who is somebody to laugh at, really. Not me. To me, Paul Gascoigne is the best. I was never a fan of any of the teams that he played for, but it was a privilege to watch him play, and he was something very, very special. And I, like many people, wonder what could have been. What if? What if he had never got injured in the 1991 FA Cup final? What if he hadn't have had so many off-field problems, the media spats, the alcoholism, etc., etc.? And the biggest what if for me is, what if Paul Gascoigne had signed for Manchester United in 1988 instead of going to Tottenham Hotspur? Sir Alex Ferguson spoke of his disappointment in the past and his regret that Gazza chose Spurs, because he had agreed to join Man United. It was pretty much a done deal, but Spurs gave Gazza a massive wedge of money as a signing on fee, and he used it to buy his parents a house. And when you come from an impoverished background, you haven't had a pot to piss in, it's quite a big motivation. And I can't do anything to prevent that from ever happening. I can't indeed go back and change anything that happened, but we can simulate using Football Manager 22 and Mad Scientist FM's 1992-93 database, and we can see what would happen if Paul Gascoigne had gone to Manchester United for the beginning of the first ever Premier League season in 92-93. So, let's see what would have happened in Gazza's career in my first ever Football Manager rewrite video that I'm calling Gazza United. Hello everyone and welcome to Planet P and my first ever Football Manager rewrite video that I'm calling Gazza United. I'm going to look back at the career of Paul Gascoigne and using Football Manager 22 I'm going to see how different it could have been. Firstly, we'll take a quick look at his actual career and what happened, who he played for, etc, 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 for those who don't know. And then we're going to simulate using the 92-93 Mad Scientist FM database and put him at Manchester United at the beginning of the 92-93 season, and then see where his career went after that. There were a lot of issues with Gazza, like regarding off-field issues that come from his childhood and stuff. Like, he was from an impoverished family. He saw his friend's younger brother die when he was like 10 years old. He got into trouble with the police. He went through therapy, gambling addiction, etc, etc, etc. And all of that will play a part in what happened off the field in his later life. But I digress. He began his career at Newcastle United. He signed for them as a schoolboy. He supported them as a kid. And then he signed for them as a schoolboy. And he captained their youth team to FA Youth Cup glory. And then got a call up to the senior squad and made his debut a month before his 18th birthday. A couple of years later, he got named PFA Young Player of the Year. And then was sold to Tottenham Hotspur. This is the biggest what-if moment in Gazza's career. He had agreed to sign for Alex Ferguson at Man United, then signed for Tottenham instead, all to do with the signing on fee. But at the time, it was just a football transfer. Gazza had chosen Spurs over United. The London club had won the race to sign England's brightest talent. And everything went well for a while. Gazza helped Spurs climb up the table. He made his England senior debut in September '88. And then he helped England to the Italia 90 semi-final, the World Cup semi-final in Italia 90, where most people will remember the images of him crying and stuff after being booked, and he would have missed the final if we had actually got there. But we never got there anyway. He got loads of individual awards. He got named BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Everything was coming up roses for him. And everyone seemed to love him. No matter who you supported, everyone seemed to love Paul Gascoigne. But Spurs had some financial problems off the pitch, so they accepted an offer for their most prized asset from Lazio in Italy. And it's where Gazza's story starts to nosedive a little bit. He must have gone into the FA Cup final against Nottingham Forest in '91 knowing about the impending transfer. And he obviously weren't in the right frame of mind because he threw himself into a tackle on Gary Charles after about 15 minutes and ended up with ruptured cruciate ligaments because of it. That led to him missing an entire season of football and a drawn-out transfer saga that saw him eventually sign for Lazio for less money than was originally agreed. But then there was more off-field problems, there were media spats, his form dipped, he was homesick. There was something to do with when he first signed, he went up to one of the Lazio directors or something and said in Italian about his daughter's big tits or something like that. So it got off to a bad start. And it was just all downhill from there, to be fair. Then he broke his leg in '94, missed a lot more time. And at the end of the '94-'95 season, the club agreed that it was time for Gazza to move on to pastures new. And Walter Smith, the then Rangers manager, flew to Rome, had a chat with Gazza, tried to get him to come to Scotland, and Gazza agreed. He went to Rangers, and it led to a bit of a resurgence for him. His form picked up. His popularity rose up again, and he had a little bit of success. They won 2 Scottish titles, Scottish Cup, Scottish League Cup, and he also excelled for England as well, helped them reach the semi-final of Euro 96 with one of the best goals of all time against Scotland in the process that I'll put the link to down in the description, because if you haven't seen it, firstly, why? And secondly, go and watch it because it's brilliant, and it still makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. He moved to Middlesbrough in March '98. His form had dipped at Rangers. I think Walter Smith had moved on and he wasn't as popular as he once was. So he went back to England, went to Middlesbrough, who were in the second tier of English football at the time. He played a handful of games for them as they got promoted back to the Premier League. But his career then went into a further decline. He was dropped from the England squad for the '98 World Cup. His form dropped. He had fitness issues, he was plagued by little niggling injuries, and the alcohol addiction and severe depression had completely taken a hold of him by that point. He had an unsuccessful spell at Everton, a short loan at Burnley. He moved to China and played for, let me see if I can pronounce this, Gansu Tianma. And then he finished his career in 2004 at Boston United in the lowest division of English Football, League Two. After that, he had a 39-day stint as manager of Kettering Town, but that's it. That's football done for Paul Gascoigne. And yeah, he had some successes on the pitch. It weren't all shit. He's in the English Football Hall of Fame. He earned 57 senior caps for his country, which is something that most people can only dream of. He won several individual awards. He won winners' medals. And he's still regarded as one of the best to ever play the game. I think it was Paul Ince who said that he is the greatest player he's ever played alongside. And considering Paul Ince played with a lot of really, really top quality players, that is a very marked statement. You only have to look at his career from leaving Spurs, though, to know that there could have been so much more. A renaissance of sorts at Rangers is the only real high point in 13 years between the injury in the FA Cup final and him calling time on his playing career. So now we've looked at what really happened. We're going to have a look at what would have happened if Gazza had joined Man United in 1992. I would have loved to have been able to have gone back and put Gazza at United in '88 and seen what would have happened from there. But all I can do is put him at Man United in 1992 and we can see how his career pans out. Right, so we've loaded up the 92-93 database. We've found Paul Gascoigne, currently at Lazio, but he is yet to play a game for him. If you look at his career stats, he hasn't actually played a game for him. He didn't actually make his debut until September of 1992 for him. He's got his Newcastle career and his Tottenham career, already 184 league appearances and 40 goals. What I'm going to do, though, is I don't want him at Lazio. I want him at Manchester United. So I'm going to go move to other club. We're going to type in Manchester United. Man United. We're going to click on OK. We'll do £10 million. There you go, £10 million they can pay for him. And now, Paul Gascoigne is at Manchester United. He's 25 years old. He already has 22 caps and 4 goals for his country. And now, we're going to simulate and see what happens next. Where will his career go? How will he end up? Will he stay at Man United for the rest of his career? Will he move on? Will he still suffer the same decline in form? Or will it be an amazing career for Paul Gascoigne? Let's go and find out. So we've got to the point in the game where Paul Gascoigne is just about to retire from playing football. It's the 18th of June 2032 in the game, so that converts, if we look at from 1992-93 season, it'll be around about the 18th of June 2003. Well, it won't be around about, it will be the 18th of June 2003. Paul Gascoigne is 36 years old and he's currently at Leeds United. So we'll see where his career went for him to end up at Leeds. 36 years old, 92 caps for his country with 14 goals. So that is, I think in real life he had 57. So it's, 35 more caps for his country than what he got in real life. His stats are still remarkable. He hasn't declined that much. Considering he's now 36, he hasn't declined at all, really. Maybe natural fitness and a bit of stamina and stuff, but still some great stats there. But yeah, he's already announced that he will retire at the end of June. So let's go and have a look at his career stats and see how he's got on. As we can see, Manchester United, in his first season, he made 34 league appearances, scored 5 goals, 13 assists, an average rating of 7.4, 6 man of the match awards. He also played 12 times in Europe with 2 goals and 8 times in the Cup, but didn't score at all. It's a fantastic first season. He actually broke Manchester United's assist record that stood there for the season. He got 17 assists for the season and broke Man United's record. Season 2, he played 37 times, 10 goals, 11 assists in the league, 4 man of the match awards, and he got better, 7.44. Season after that, 7 goals in 35 appearances in the league. And if we look, like, he's still playing a lot of cup games and international games, not international, continental games, also European games as well. 36 appearances a season after at 7.3. His rating stayed at over a 7 until his final season at Man United. His final season, he got a 6.94, and then he joined Nottingham Forest for £20 million in 2028. I think it was July 2028. So if we're going from 92 onwards, it would have been 1999. He would have joined Nottingham Forest for £20 million. Went on to play 35 times for them in his first season, scored 2, 6 assists, back to over a 7 rating. They were also in Europe by the looks of it. Played 4 times in Europe for them there, 4 times in the Cup. And I think that's where he made his last appearance for England. Only 1 international cap that season. And yeah, there's nothing after that. His second season at Nottingham Forest, 40 appearances, 2 goals, 7 assists at a 7.16. Only 1 man in the match award. He got first one in 4 seasons, look. Again, 8 continental appearances, 3 cup appearances, all over a 7 rating. And then the season after that, he only played 5 times. Only 5 times the season after that at 6.5. So if we take it what was he? He was 25, so he's probably like around about 34 years old here. So he is getting on a little bit. Only 5 appearances, 6.5 average rating. Moved to Leeds United in January of, it works out, 2002. So January 2002, he goes to Leeds United for £1.1 million. Plays 4 games for him. It does actually say on his awards and stuff, I'll show you in a second, that he won the UEFA Cup with Leeds. So he got a UEFA Cup winners medal, but he didn't actually play a game for him in the UEFA Cup. So I'm not sure if he got a medal or not, but it shows up on his record as winning the UEFA Cup. And in his final season, he made 5 appearances, 1 assist, 6.95 still. So 6.95 for a 35-year-old man who has had a very, very long career. And if we look at the difference in his real career to the career in the game, he was stable. Stable, settled career. Still at the top level in the Premier League for, well, he's well into his mid-30s. He's won several trophies that I'll show you in a second. He's still playing at the top, the very, very top. If we click on the Premier Division and go and show you, yeah, he only played a handful of games, but Leeds finished top 4. So he's playing at a top 4 side at the end of his career. In real life, he finished his career at League 2 at Boston United. So there are levels. There are levels. Milestones. If we look, competitions. Won the League Cup in his first season at Man United. Then they won the Premier League and the FA Cup. Runner-up in the Community Shield. Won the Premier League, the League Cup and the Community Shield the season after that. Won the Premier League the season after that. So that's what, 3 Premier Leagues on the spin? 4 Premier Leagues on the spin there. Champions League runner-up. FA Cup winners. 3rd place in the World Cup with England. It looks like Man United won the Premier League every year, not the FA Cup, the Premier League every year. That they won it again there. Won the Community Shield and won it there. So pretty much every season, apart from his first season at Manchester United, Paul Gascoigne received a Premier League winners medal. Then he moved to Leeds, where obviously it said he won a UEFA Cup, but he didn't actually play a game for him. And the season after, he did actually play in the UEFA Cup, and they got a runners-up. So it's a pretty remarkable career, really. If we look at the difference in where he was to where he ended up, he won 6 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, 2 Community Shields and 1 UEFA Cup. To real life, he won 2 Scottish titles, a Scottish Cup and a Scottish League Cup. He played 225 league games for Manchester United with 36 goals. He also played 100 games in cup competitions or European competition for them as well. So he played 325 times for Man United. Then he went on to make 80 league appearances for Nottingham Forest and just 9 appearances for Leeds at the end of his career as he wound down in his mid-30s. Still at a top-level club, which is pretty remarkable, and it's nice to see. He didn't have any of the bad injuries and moving from club to club, and he stayed at the top level for the entirety of his career. He never dropped down, never dropped to the Championship or League 1, League 2, or whatever it was. It was back in English Division 1, I think it was, when the Premier League first started. So he never actually dropped down. He was at the top the whole time. Now, let's go and see if he moved into management or coaching or anything. I'm just going to move the game along 6 months or so just to see what happens, or if he stays out of the game. I'm not going to go another 10 years into the future and see what happens there, but I'd like to see what his next move was, and if he just stays out of football or if he goes into coaching or something. Right, I moved on a few months, and Paul Gascoigne is happy in his retirement by the looks of it. He's doing a bit of gardening, he's enjoying the sun, he's having some holidays, he's spending time with the family, he's doing all that stuff that he couldn't do before. Thinking about it, to be honest, I don't even know if the players in this database can go on to coaching and management and stuff. It's a created database, so it might just end as a player and that's it, and then the game creates new gens to take their place. But we get the summary screen of Paul Gascoigne's career. Retired at the age of 36 with 92 caps for his country. Most successful at Manchester United, playing 325 times for him in all competition, in League, Cup and Europe. Won the Premier League title 6 times, the FA Cup twice, the League Cup twice, the Community Shield twice. And then he went on to win a UEFA Cup winners' medal with Leeds. I said that he didn't play a part in their UEFA Cup victory, but he may have been on the bench for it. If you think like that, he may have been on the bench. I didn't look. So if he was an unused substitute, he's still going to get a winners' medal, even if he didn't play a part in them winning. He was England Player of the Year. He was shortlisted for World Footballer of the Year, and undoubtedly had a more successful career in this universe and in this simulation than what he did in real life. So maybe moving to Manchester United would have been the best move for Paul Gascoigne many, many moons ago. But that's going to wrap up this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, please could you smash that like button for me. Comment below to let me know you enjoyed it. Is there anyone from back in the early 90s or mid-90s or whatever that you would like to see given the rewrite treatment? I really did enjoy doing this, actually. I used to do a little bit of freelance writing and sports journalism, so I enjoy the research side of it. And at one stage a few years back, I was thinking about creating my own website and podcast to cover like real football. And there would have been a blog part of it with the rewriting segment. So I would have done this type of thing on a podcast, blogged on the website, etc, etc. So I did really enjoy doing it, and I'd love to do some more, but I'm only going to do them if people watch them. There's no point in doing them if people don't watch them. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel while you're down there, hit the notification bell to know when future videos are going to be released, and comment if there is a player that you'd like to see given the Football Manager rewrite treatment. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all join me again soon, and I will see you in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.